Thank God the tour's over. Thought it was never going to end. Yo, what's up? Welcome to episode 9 of Lattes Before Load-in. Yeah, this is not going to be part 2 of the Brixton episode like we promised a couple of weeks ago. That is going to come out soon. We've just had a crazy few weeks and we've not been available at the same time with the guests that we wanted to get. So we will keep trying and hopefully we get it out next week for you. But yeah, we didn't want to wait another week without posting anything on this channel. So the plan was always to kind of end this series 1 of Lattes Before Load-in about this tour the same way we started it. Just me and Lacey sat down having a coffee over Zoom and just chatting shit basically about a show. So yeah, we're going to talk about the Manchester show and then do a little bit of a tour roundup in this episode. And then yeah, we'll get that Brixton part 2 episode done as a final little bonus episode, I guess, in a few weeks. Hopefully next week, but I'm not making any promises. But yeah, we're here today talking about Manchester, the last show on this great little tour. Yeah, I'm not going to do a Q&A in this intro because I forgot to post it to the Instagram story, so sorry about that. But I've probably answered all the questions that you guys want to hear by now anyway, so whatever. If you do have any questions, just drop a DM on the Welsh Tech's Instagram and I'll answer it there. Easy as that. But yeah, before we get started with this episode, as always, just a massive shout out to everyone that's donated over the last few weeks. It means so much. So yeah, we're going to save all those donations at the moment and we're going to try and get a decent portable recorder so we can do these podcasts on the road whenever touring returns. I don't know when that's going to be because COVID sucks. But yeah, if you want to help us out with getting that, then head over to the Instagram page, click that little link in the bio and click that donate button. I'll take you through to a PayPal donate page. It'll be paypal.me/WelshTechs. Do that and we'll love you forever. But yeah, right, let's just get on with this episode. We're going to talk about Manchester and how great it is. So yeah, let's do it.
What's up? Welcome to episode 9 of the Welshie Techs podcast. My name's Lacey. I sell merchandise for the band While She Sleeps. And as ever, I'm joined by a front of house tour manager / general organisation legend, James Hill.
Yo, what's up?
How you doing, man? You good?
Yeah, great. How are you?
Sweet. Yeah, man, I'm chilling. Before we get into this, I just want to say first a sorry for the fact that we took a couple of weeks out and haven't really had a podcast to upload. It's been a pretty hectic couple of weeks and me and James have both had a little bit of time off to reconnect and to speak to some people and to earth ourselves a little bit. It's never an easy time when people have stuff going on in their heads. And this message kind of goes out to everyone, but to men more so, that if you're ever having a problem, speak about it. A problem shared is a problem halved. And going through things on your own, you don't need to do that. There's no way that you need to go through things on your own. Your family are there. There are people there. There are helplines. There are all kinds of infrastructures, informations out there that you can Google, that you can research to get help. That being said, this episode goes out to the memory of 2 very important people. Goes out to James Miller and everyone that's involved and loves him. Goes out to his family. And it goes out to Sylvia Murray and all of her family, my family. And yeah, let's learn to talk a little bit more and get what's going on in our head out because shit isn't easy sometimes, but it needs to be spoke about. So now we've got all of that miserable, horrible side out the way. James, Manchester, big day off. What you saying, man? How'd it start?
Well, yeah, we had a day off between London and Manchester, so it was nice to just chill for a day. We decided to do it in Manchester because it meant that anyone that wanted to go back to Sheffield could just jump on a train and go home. So I think some of the guys in the band, they all went home for the night and the rest of us just hung out in Manchester. So really chill day. I think me and you went to a great coffee shop in the morning.
Yeah,
Remember the name of it?
Yeah, we went to TAC, which is in the town centre. TAK, I believe, possibly double K.
Yeah, that was great. Went there, got a panini and a great little coffee.
Yeah, man. That was that place where a couple of us went, and as we was leaving, the Man City women's team walked in, didn't they?
Yeah.
All in their training gear. And yeah, that was pretty cool to see. I had a little fanboy moment. I was like, yeah, you guys are sick.
Yeah, it was good. I think while we were there, I booked the day room for everyone because obviously there's no shower on the tour bus and everyone gets smelly. So booked a hotel room close to the venue where we were parked, and a few of the guys went and chilled there that morning, got showers. I think we just went straight to the coffee shop because I don't care if I stink. I want a coffee first. And then,
fuck yeah.
Yeah, the guys that went there, I think we then went and met them in Spoons, I believe.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I remember walking back. When we left TAC, we was kind of seeing where everyone was, and in classic us fashion, there was like 3 or 4 different pins dropped, but I think everyone said that like they were in Spoons or heading to Spoons, so we went and met them there.
And then, yeah, in Spoons for a bit. Classic, really.
Classic day off on tour.
Yeah, chilled in Spoons, had a cup of tea, I think. Nothing exciting, day off. And then, did we go to the Manchester Uni and had a coffee in there? Was that this tour or was that a different tour?
No, we did do that. So for people listening, Manchester Academy 1, 2, 3 and Club Academy are all in a university complex. It's actually, to be fair, I fucking love Manchester Academy and I love that everything is right there.
Great venue, great venues, all of them.
Yeah, I haven't had a bad show. I've done every single one of them rooms and I haven't had a bad show at one of them. Yeah, there's like the student union bar where you can go and just kind of hang out for the day. I think on this day off we played some pool there, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
At some point we played some pool there. It's just it's kind of a nice place to have as a base, especially days off on tour. You kind of need like a ground zero, a place to all meet up at, or if people have got to do work or whatever, you know that you need a good place. Generally in Europe it's a Starbucks, so it's quite nice to be in the UK and have the uni as the base. Yeah,
because good toilets, always essential. And
absolute essential.
Good bar. Yeah, and there's a little coffee stand in there as well that we went and grabbed a little coffee in there as well. And then just chilled on the bus. Nothing exciting happened this day. Nothing at all. I think
my girlfriend brought my dog through.
Yeah, we got to see Frank. Give him a little stroke.
The little bastard come through.
Yeah. And then I think we just went for some drinks, didn't we? Just chilled. I don't think any of the band were with us. It was just like me, you, Liam.
Yeah, I can't remember really doing much. I remember going to Brewdog to get some, because they had just got the Connect with Temple of Satan again, like the week before. So we went and had some vegan wings and stuff. We went and did that. And then I think we went back to the Student Union bar for a bit. And then I think we went to Big Hands.
Yeah, classic.
I don't particularly remember it wasn't crazy. I know that everyone was kind of tired and subdued from the day before.
Yeah, I remember being in the Manchester Academy in the Union bar and seeing a couple of guys from Vane.
Yeah, that's right.
And did Gary come in as well? Every Time I Die's TM, he came in at one bit.
I think them guys were kind of using it the same way that we were, as like a central base, as a place to go. I definitely remember seeing the guys from Vane, because they come and sat on our bus for a little while, didn't they?
Yeah, I think we had a few drinks there, then we went to Big Hands. I think Liam had a friend who was meeting there. Yeah, we just went and sat right at the back, had a few beers. And then, went and sat on the bus, had some beers on the bus with a couple of guys from Vane, their drummer, their sound guy. Yeah, just chilled there. And then I think Keith came round, didn't he? Keith from Every Time I Die came and chilled on the bus with us for a little bit.
Yeah, so I had two great conversations, because I had the first time, obviously on a tour, things are kind of chaos all the time, especially doing the jobs that me and you do in particular. We're working pretty much all day.
Yeah.
So it's hard you see people on the tour and you say what's up and you talk to people, but you don't really properly connect unless you get a chance. And I had a really good conversation this day with the guys from Vane about US hardcore and about some of the bands that I love, and how they're connected to them guys. One of my favorite bands is a band called Title Fight, and they know all them guys. And we were talking about Touche Amore, who are another favorite band of mine, and how their scene is a lot like the UK metalcore scene, but in a different way. Like, a lot of the bands are friends, a lot of the bands are cool with each other, a lot of the bands hang out outside of playing shows together and support each other, which is a kind of part of the scene that I grew up in hardcore and really enjoy that. So that was a really cool conversation. And then we had a mental conversation with Keith, because that guy's crazy clever anyway.
Yeah, he is.
I don't know if you really get to experience how clever he is in the short time that we was on tour with him, but obviously a lot of people know about him in our scene. He's a legend anyway. The band are legendary. and we got talking about the Manchester scene because I can't remember who brought it up. I feel like Liam was taking the piss out of me for loving Oasis as much as I do, or something like that, or loving the Manchester scene as much as I do. And Keith was telling me he spent his day, he went to there's a really famous bridge in Manchester where Joy Division had a really famous promo taken. There's not many promos of the band floating around, but one of the most famous promos of the band is on this bridge. And he went down to the bridge and checked it out, and me and him got talking. And I mentioned that I had a vinyl from the band that Joy Division became after Ian Curtis died. I had a promo single from that band, and it was one of a very prized possession in my record collection, and he was so impressed with it that I was so taken aback. I was like, oh shit. And he told some more really cool stories, and he told me about how much like he loves the whole Manchester scene, and you know, he was obsessed with the idea of 90s Manchester as well as the earlier Manchester scene with the likes of Joy Division. So I just gave him the record the next day, and I don't think I've ever seen a dude so happy. The next day we had the last show, and I texted my girlfriend and was like, I need you to bring this record through, and just gave it to him because I thought, fuck it. Yeah. He's been an absolute legend on the tour, and he's going to really fucking appreciate it. So,
and he did.
Yeah, he did. But yeah, the night off, although again, I think we spoke about it on this podcast before, that we don't really do that many rock and roll things anymore. I feel like we're all a bit too long in the tooth to be doing stuff like that. Some of the nights off that we have are almost better now, because although we're not out getting drunk, we're not out partying, doing these stupid things that we will talk about in 10 years' time. We're having these conversations that bring you a little bit closer to people, and I fuck with that. I love that side of it. I love hearing, especially touring with American bands. It's great because a lot of them guys know the bands that I love, so to hear their stories about that is fucking great.
Yeah.
I'm sure Gary was kicking around as well, and Gary.
Yeah, he was. I remember I was having a good chat with Gary and with Vane's sound guy as well. I think we were just nerding out on audio things.
Yeah.
So,
but Gary's a legend. He's tour managed me on a different tour before. He actually introduced me to a band that I work for now that I really enjoy working for, and will always be thankful to him for that. So Gary's a really cool guy. He's got a shitload of experience too. And he makes Every Time I Die sound fucking great every time. So another cool guy sometimes just to sit down and just catch up with. So yeah, always getting fucked up isn't always cool.
I've just remembered as well the reason why they kept popping, why Keith originally came round before he was hanging out with us for that night. He needed to use the toilet. Do you remember? The toilet on their bus was broken.
Didn't their toilet break?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I can't remember if it was like they'd run out of water or something. It wouldn't flush.
Yeah, I do remember.
So Keith kept coming around and knocking on the door.
Yeah, someone gave him the code, and I remember sat there talking to someone, and I just saw Keith like run across, go to the toilet, and then disappear again off the bus.
Yeah, we did that a couple of times and realised that we were all just sat chilling. He was like, "Can I come join?"
I also had a conversation. I don't know if I should bring this up. I also had a conversation about a dude in a band that has an OnlyFans that someone on the tour bought his OnlyFans for the month. Bought his OnlyFans for the month to have a look at, and wow, my life's changed seeing that. So I wish I hadn't.
Just burn your eyes, burn it out. Right, let's move on from that then. And Manchester.
Talk about a fucking show, man.
The show.
Talk about a show.
The last show of this fantastic tour. Yeah. This was a good one because, again, we had Siobhan, who was our promoter rep for the London show. She did both London and Manchester. And she texted me that morning, I think, at like 9 a.m. to say like, oh, I'll be in the venue early if you want to get in and have a shower before we load in. Yeah. So, yeah, she texted me that. I think I just went straight in the venue, went in the dressing room, had a shower all by myself. It was lovely. There was no one around. And then I texted the group saying, oh, venue's open, by the way.
Now I've done what I needed to do, by the way.
I was like fully dressed, dressing room was prepared, all the signs were up, it was great. Yeah. It should be. But yeah, it was a bit of a long load-in because Ash had all the lighting production to get in, and it was just a bit of a mixed mash of like all the lights that he wanted that were from the Brixton show, trying to put them in the Manchester stage, which is like half the size, maybe even a third of the size. So it was just him trying to sort out where stuff was going and how much we could get in of the production. So that took longer than expected. In fact, me and you, we went to get a coffee for everyone, didn't we? In the lighting crew.
We did. I remember
went
this
to-
load-in being like,
Cafe Nero.
yeah, because we went to go back to Tack. There was a Tack that was closer that we didn't realize when we went the day before, but it was closed. So we went to Nero, which was next door. I think it was closed. Wasn't it a Sunday?
Yeah, it was. It was Sunday.
And it was like a really awkward time on a Sunday. So we went to, I remember me and you going to the Nero, yeah.
Yeah, it'd been like half 10 or something. 11
yeah,
o'clock.
and I remember the load-in for this seemed to really kick its heels, but in a relaxed way. It wasn't that it was slow and we were stressed out that it was going slow. It was slow and controlled, and we was okay with it going slow.
Yeah, I think all the gear came in onto the floor. We just left Ash and the lighting team just up on stage doing their own thing, and just messages on the radio when you're ready for backline to go up. Like, there was no rush. We were in so early that morning, it didn't matter. Like, what, we loaded all the gear in at 10 a.m. and everything was in the venue. So plenty of time. You had plenty of time to set up all your merch, because probably the hardest show for you, merch-wise.
It was a weird one, because with the Brixton and Manchester shows, we had already sorted out our delivery and our numbers. So I knew exactly how much I had left over to sell. And I set it all up and I was like, yeah, this is fine. This is great. Like, I was super happy with it. My setup didn't take me that long, actually. It felt like my setup was really quick on this day.
Yeah. I think having that day off the day before to reset everyone, it was just a calm.
Yeah.
Everyone knows exactly what they're doing.
I think as well, there's so much pressure and worry that we put on ourselves and that was around for the Brixton show.
Yeah.
That
getting that out of the way.
Yeah, it was almost like we could get back to our jobs without the pressure, if that makes any sense. So, like, we all know our jobs. We all know that we're good at what we're doing, but the foot was kind of off the gas because we're back to being, like, I guess, familiar territory, for want of a better way of putting that. But yeah, it was a slow, easy setup for me. The venue's real nice because it's one massive room. So it was me, and I could have Etid and Vane right next to me, which was nice for the last night to kind of have everyone all together. And actually, this is the day that you fucking stitched me up. I don't know if you remember this.
What for?
You put the wrong fucking doors on the day sheet.
Oh, shit.
And then I was like, I can't remember what I was doing. I was like kicking around. Oh, do you know what I was doing? I was trying to get the prints signed. And I was like, I've got fucking ages yet. I can get a print signed and I can get a shower. And just as I was getting the shower, he was like, you've got half an hour. And I was like, what? I've got like an hour and a half. And he was like, no, you've got half an hour. Yeah,
I forgot to update the iCalendar.
My bad. That's exactly what happened. And in fact, I can tell you now, we're you know, me and you are close, so I can tell you now. I got in the shower. Matt's girlfriend was in the dressing room. They were in an interview. And I went into the dressing room and I probably said 300 swear words after your name. I was so pissed off. And I think I was still swearing when I went into the shower to have like the quickest body shower I could physically have. Got out still swearing about you and then just stressing about all the prints and stuff. But the prints got delivered to me during the show.
Yeah, I delivered them to you.
You did. And I was still swearing at you then.
Yeah.
Because this show will go down in my memory as the busiest While She Sleeps merch show I have ever worked in my life.
Yeah. Yeah, because you have to sell in a room that big. Like, normally in the other venues in the UK and even in Europe, venues that size are usually concession, right?
Yeah, right. So they're usually concession with maybe one or two exceptions in places that don't really have hyper heads. Manchester is known for being a good place to go and sell merch. People always buy merch.
Yeah.
And it was just fucking chaos. If you was at the show, you probably would have seen me just sweating. Like, fuck. I think the only time I stopped selling, there was twice that come to mind. Once when I needed to pee just after every time I played. And the second time was when I run on stage for the end crew photo. And then I went back and I was 10 deep queue. It was fucking chaos.
Crazy.
But yeah, it was crazy, but it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. But how was setup and that for you? Because I kind of remember everyone was in kind of the same area, that it was kind of like, it was just easy, just taking it step by step.
Yeah, I set up my front of house and then just waited for Ash to send that radio call saying the stage was ready for backline so I could get on with that stuff. But yeah, for most of it, I just sat in the production office all day with Siobhan and sent loads of emails, caught up with everything to do with the tour. So at the end of the tour, I have to obviously send everything over to management and the accountants and settle the tour, basically. So I think I was getting all your merch sheets ready in a folder to send over in one email. And then I have like a sheet, like all the cash that I have on hand. Because obviously you give me the money every night, put it in the safe or deposit it wherever we can. And then, just counting, make sure that all that is correct, matches with my sheet. This is how much I should have. This is how much I do have. And that was all fine. So obviously if I'm missing cash, then you're in trouble. Or whoever it is.
Comes back on me.
But no, everything was fine. I've never had a problem. The only time I've had a problem was that tour a few years ago. And I thought I'd lost £1,000 or €1,000. And it turns out I'd just given it the bus driver for fuel.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
How long did we sweat about that?
Maybe about 2 hours.
Yeah. How many times did we recount the cash?
I can't even count that many times. It was, but it all worked out in the end.
Yeah. Mistakes happen. Cash wasn't lost.
Yeah. So doing all that. And then Ash sent the message saying we're ready for backline. So Liam and Nathan got all that set up. I got all my microphones done, all the cables in, monitor world set up. We sound checked and it was great. That room is fantastic. So anyone that's ever been to Manchester, has probably been to a show at Manchester Academy. Like, it's a great room. I used to go there when I was growing up. Like, I'd travel over from college in Sheffield because all the big bands play there.
Yeah, right.
I must have seen loads of shows there. So Funeral for a Friend and Fight Star there. Who else? Seen Angels and Airwaves there. Seen Lost Prophets there a few times, but we'll not mention that one.
Whoa.
But just loads of bands. And I've never done that venue as a headline band before, so that was nice. I've only ever done it. I was there with support band for Bowling for Soup, and maybe I've done it with someone else, but never done a headline show, so that was nice. The PA in there is fantastic, like very, very loud. Apologise to everyone in the audience.
It is very loud now.
Yeah. And there's some weird like low frequency. If you hit the kick drum, like 100 hertz just goes on for about 5 seconds. It's crazy. But an interesting thing about this show, remember what we had for lunch? I remember just setting up. Yeah, I was just setting up for sound check, and then Siobhan texted me just being like, "I'm ordering some fish and chips. Do you guys want it?" So
bro, I'm sure I haven't had fish and chips for years. And then I heard a radio call. They're like, "Do you want some fish and chips?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
It was great, and Siobhan just delivered them. God, I love that woman. She's great.
Yeah, legend.
I remember another thing about this as well is the venue staff had put up the timesheets all around the venue so that all the crowd know what time each band's on. And they'd use a really old While She Sleeps logo. And I had to get them to take them all down and use the correct logo. Because I know how particular Mr. Matt Welsh is about his logos. So if you look at the So What stuff, I believe the font that they used at the start of the campaign was one font. And then they've now gone on to a different, like, slimmer version of it. It's a totally different font. And I was still using the old one. Right. And it was still a So What font, but it was like, oh no, you need to use this new one now. So you had to like send me the new font and I had to update all my sheets.
Classic.
So I had to make the venue staff do that. He was fine about it. I was like, I'm really sorry. Could you swap the logo out? He'd already printed off like 20 or 30 timesheets.
Good.
So I had to do that. And then, we had a special guest this day as well. Bit of press. Remember? Well, I don't know if you were there, but the guys in Sappening podcast.
I do remember. I remember you being very excited about it. Shout out Sappening.
Shout out Sappening. I love Sappening podcast. Listen to it every week. And
shout out Sappening.
I'd arranged that they could come and interview a couple of the band members and sorted them out their own little dressing room backstage. I'd even got their own little rider. I know that Mo Dick likes a J2O if he's listening, so I got him a few J2Os. Sorted those guys out. They had a great interview. If you've not checked them out, whatever you listen to this podcast on, just type in Sappening podcast and scroll back a few episodes and you'll get to the While She Sleeps one.
Yeah,
it's good.
The Every Time I Die interview that they had from that show is really interesting as well.
Yeah, that's like the one after, I think.
They've done a few good interviews. They got the Shapes guys on there too. There's some good interviews on there.
There's a great one with Def Havana.
Yeah, right.
Scroll back and listen to that one. That's fantastic. And then there was lots of guests on the old guest list as well this day. So that was part of my big chunk of my day was sorting out the guest list because it's so close to Sheffield.
Yeah.
So big old guest list, sending that in. That was fun.
Yeah, there was a fair few mates around. I remember there being a fair few mates around. Like every now and then I'd look up and see a friendly face instead of someone pissed off that they had to wait for merch.
Yeah. I remember we sorted out there's a little bar upstairs. So I agreed with the venue that they'd leave that bar open for an hour and a half after the show. So all the guest list people could just hang out, have some drinks. But yeah, then showtime. Nothing really to say about the show. It was a loud rock show.
I don't remember the show. It all happened so quick and with so much relief. I think because Mac was there as well.
Yeah.
There's an added level of security.
We had Mac, but we lost L.
We did. We lost L and we lost Ryan.
Oh, yeah. Ryan stayed in London.
Yeah, that's why the dressing room was a little bit quieter.
Yeah. Where did L go? He was off tour managing Fever somewhere in the world.
I think he
like
stayed in
Japan
London and he was flying out to Japan like 2 days later, which sounds horrible if you ask me. But
yeah, not jealous at all.
No, not at all. So yeah, we lost them guys, but the show kind of just was effortless. The guys smashed it.
Yeah, I think that relief of not worrying about Brixton just made the show so smooth. The vibe in the room was so good.
Yeah,
it's a sweaty venue.
Yeah, so it's fun. Like Manchester's always so much fun. So.
Yeah.
If you was at that show, shout out because we can't remember anything being a pain in the ass. So and shout out to security again, like we were saying about Brixton too. The security killed it at this show as well. They kept everyone safe. And that was a big relief. The security comment actually, one of the guys really looked after me after the show because there's a problem with the merch desk at the academy is that it doesn't have locks on the wheels. So if you lean on the desk just fucking moves, which is a nightmare when there's a lot of people
like
pushing.
2,000 people trying to get there.
Yeah, of course. And it kind of moves without you even realizing sometimes. And the next thing you know, you're like pinned against a wall. So the security comment just kind of kept an eye on the desk and were really respectful to the fans and really respectful to me, and that kind of shit goes a long way to crew. So yeah, shout out the venue at this show. It was fucking great.
Show was great, and then we had to go. We forgot to do like an end of tour picture. We wanted to do one at Brixton on the stage, but the day was so busy we forgot. So we're like, oh, we'll just do one at the end of the show. But obviously the problem at that is the fact that me, you, and Ash all the other end of 2,000 people. So I remember it got to the last song and Tom Pike was at front of house. So Tom, shout out Tom if he's listening. He's a front of house guy. He does, I think he was with the Shapes guys when I first met him. He does Holding Absence. And yeah, he was there. So I was like, can you just fade this and then turn the music on when I run away? And then the guys got to whatever the last song in the set was. And yeah, played the last chord, and me, you, and Ash all ran round the back, up the stairs, through the guest bar, down the backstage corridor, round the back of the stage, down the stairs, and ran onto the stage for this end of tour photo.
I didn't go that way. I went through the crowd.
Did you not?
I went through the crowd.
You maniac. Me and Ash didn't. So, I guess you left before, didn't you?
Yeah. So when I heard the radio call, there's like where the wall is. There was like I saw a gap, so I just ran for it. But what I didn't realize was there was a load of people sat down where they were so hot and sweaty.
Yeah.
So I was like running and like trying to hurdle people and like push past people really respectfully. It was yeah.
Me and Ash tried to go the clearest way we could and just running down the backstage corridor. It was very sweaty when we got to stage, and I was so excited. I was like, ran on stage, and I picked up Matt, who'd pulled his back the day before at the Brixton show. So I picked him up. And he was like, in pain, you bastard. But you forgive me. It's fine. And then, also, a little picture.
Yeah. I mean, I crouched down, took the photo, and then ran back.
Yeah.
Also, if you're listening to this and the audio's just got strange, in classic me style, my AirPods have just died.
Well, as long as your microphone's still recording, we should be good.
Yeah, I think I'm still recording. I can't believe how many episodes we've done. We've done 9 episodes, and this is like the 4th that something's fucking. I'm the least technical person. There's only one person that's less technical minded than me, and that is Lawrence Taylor. I'm so bad with this shit. But yeah, show. So
yes, that's it. We loaded out. You sold loads of merch. You were stressing for about 7 hours, it seemed like, after the show. Probably only about an hour, but.
I mean, it was intense, and the thing is, in today's world of merch, there's a lot of card transactions.
Yeah.
So the PayPal reader, in fact, my PayPal reader stopped working, and the PayPal logged me out because the transactions were just too quick, which is insane. But yeah, like I just had to balance my sheet. And when I put in my totals at the end and I looked at the total amount of money we had made, I was just like, oh shit, that's a lot of money. So yeah, there was a lot of cash to count and stuff. And that part of my job is super stressful because if for whatever reason you're out, it's just fucked. It's so fucked up. I think it's happened to me 2 or 3 times, like in my whole career. And I've never been out by like loads. I've always been like the most I've ever been out is like 50 euros or something, I think.
Yeah.
Which
just
is
like a couple of t-shirts missed on the sheet or something.
Yeah, of course. Or like one where, especially when I started working for the band and the band were like at the merch table helping out, they would sometimes just hand out shirts and not tell me.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't go into my sheet and then that'd be confusing. But yeah, I was on the nail on this show, which was the biggest relief. And by the time I'd finished counting, I think I was just so fucking tired.
Yeah. Did we do anything after the show? I think we loaded out. Did we go to Big Hands?
No, there was an after party at Satan's.
Oh shit, there was.
But I didn't go. So my girlfriend had drove through, and all I could think about at this point was going home because I was going on to another tour pretty quickly after this one. Oh yeah, I was going on to a tour really quickly after this one, thinking about it. So I went home for the night, and then I met you guys to load out at the warehouse in the morning, first thing in the morning.
Yeah, forgot about that Satan's thing. I remember I was on stage setting up, ready for sound check, and then the Sleeps page posted saying like, oh, we're doing a DJ set tonight at Satan's. And I was just like, what? Like no one had told me that this was happening. I was like, what do you mean you're doing a DJ set after the show? What? When did this happen? I mean, it's all fine. I had to just throw the band in Ubers and send them over to the venue. I obviously had to stay at the venue and pack everything down and make sure everything was good there. And then me, Ash, and whoever went over after. But yeah, I forgot about that. Some drinks and Satan's. It looked
decent though.
Yeah, first time I've been as well. All this time I've been to Manchester, and that's the first time I've been to Satan's. So
yeah, I went once years ago, and I went with Chaz, who I brought up on this podcast, the Brixton episode. Yeah. We was on tour. I was on tour with Shapes, and he was with Memphis Mayfire, and we went to Satan's after the Manchester show, and they gave us free drinks with our tour passes, which meant that I was blackout drunk in about 10 minutes. But I remember Chaz just going fucking wild, and I'm sure he a song come on and he tried to do a knee slide or something like that, and he like fucked himself up, and I was so drunk that I couldn't help him get up, and
God.
Oh, to be young again, James.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dirty night out at Satan's. And then I remember saying goodbye to Enzo because he had a flight at like 6 a.m. that morning. So I think he stayed up for a few hours.
Nathan was leaving pretty early too, right?
Yeah, I think they both went to the airport at like 4 or 5 a.m. or something.
Yeah,
so said goodbye to everyone. And then the bus set off and drove to Chef. And then, met you at like, 10 a.m. something at the warehouse?
Yeah, something like that. I remember it being pretty early. I remember you guys being pretty bleary-eyed.
Yeah. And it was literally bus pulls up, push all the gear down to the warehouse, put it in, close the shutter, see you next week.
Yeah.
Not sorted any of it out. Just push it in, any order, and then get out of there.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was.
Yeah, that's it. Tour done.
That was it. Tour done. And if I'd have known what I know now, I'd have enjoyed it a little bit fucking more.
Yeah, enjoyed being away and being on tour and not being stuck at home or having to wear a mask everywhere you go.
Thanks, COVID, you dick.
Yeah. Fun. But yeah, let's think back on this tour then. So
yeah, let's round up the fun.
Yeah. Where should we start?
What was your favourite beer?
My favourite beer? Ooh.
Yeah. When did you have a beer and you was like, this is a fucking lovely beer?
Hard to tell because we didn't go out of venues that often, did we?
No.
So usually like venue beer is pretty crap. But maybe in Belgium, we went to that bar after. That was a good beer. What about you? Where was your favourite non-alcoholic beer?
The same place.
Yeah.
Sick. They had Dupler on tap, so I was loving it. They had Dupler Zero. And for anyone else who drinks non-alcoholic beers, it is really hard to find a non-alcoholic beer that sometimes doesn't just taste like fizzy piss. With the exception of Heineken Zero and Budweiser Zero as well. Budweiser Zero is dope, but Dupla 00 is a thing of fucking beauty. Whoever at Dupla created that to be a thing, I commend you. I know that people that create Dupla are avid listeners of this podcast. So.
Yeah, send us a crate.
Yeah,
of the alcohol stuff as well. Well, then, what was your favourite venue to sell at? Obviously, you can't pick Brixton because you didn't sell there.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess it wasn't Manchester because it was crazy busy.
No, Manchester was fun and will always be special to me as like a memory from that tour because of how busy it was. And I love being busy. There are some merch guys that get really stressed out in that kind of situation, but I love being that busy and I love selling all the merch, obviously. But I think AB was a really good one for me.
Yeah.
Selling there was fantastic. It will always be a special venue on the European touring circuit. And it was really, really busy. So that was a lot of fun, I think, for me.
Yeah.
What was your favourite venue to mix sound at?
To mix? Don't know. Brixton show was fun just because it was Brixton. It sounds horrendous in that room, but it's a really fun room to mix in.
Yeah.
Manchester was great because it was so loud. But if I'm going to pick like a European one, the Munich show, I reckon. I had a really good show there.
Oh, yeah, what a show. Yeah. Yeah, fair play.
I enjoyed that one. A good little venue.
What was your favourite venue coffee? Not coffee that we had at a tour, venue coffee.
Venue coffee. Amsterdam. Gotta be.
I was going to say, if you don't say Amsterdam.
Melkweg, that little coffee machine in the corridor. It's great. I want to know what beans they put in there.
Unbelievable. That thing looks like it's been there since the 80s as well.
Yeah.
But it is unbelievable.
It's even like the little cups that you get it in as well, and this little sugar cube in there. It's very,
very closely followed by the filter coffee that we had in Munich. Like the batch brew filter that they had just there ready for us. That was fucking great as well.
Yeah, I can't think of any other good ones now.
No, some of them were pretty bad. So.
Yeah, is what it is.
What was your favourite coffee that wasn't in the venue? The favourite out of venue coffee that you had?
Out of venue. Gotta be Brussels, where we went to that. Still can't remember the name of the place. I think it begins with a C, where they got all the different beans. I love that place. Every time I go to Belgium,
that place is cool.
Brussels,
That place is cool.
Gotta go there. Oh, that one we had in Manchester was great as well, at TAC.
Yeah,
but
TAC is a special place based on Scandi vibes, which is fucking awesome. I'm sure there was another one, but I can't remember off the top of my head. It's really Man versus Machine, dude.
True. That was a good coffee as well. But I think I'd still pick Belgium.
Fantastic. Nah.
The Brussels
Belgium was cool. Like the vibe of that place is cool. And I love the idea of it being an espresso, like a legit espresso bar.
Yeah.
Like there are espresso bars over the world, but that's how an espresso bar is done, is that they grind it in front of you and you have worldwide options. Like that's special and that's cool. But Man versus Machine.
Yeah, it was good.
It's fucking great. It is awesome. If you had to pick one part of the tour that will like stick in your mind as a memory, could be literally anything right now. Or like if someone says to you, what fucking tour was it? I've just got mind blank. Fuck. Whatever fucking tour it was, they had started a shithole year. If someone said that tour to you, what's like the memory that comes to you? Like, what's the first thing that you think about?
Probably Brixton. Like the entire tour was based around that, really.
Yeah,
it was such a big show. Yeah, it's got to be that. The rest of the tour was great, and all the shows are fantastic. But yeah, that Brixton show was just so special.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I think about.
I hear that. But I think I'll always remember the fact that fucking every time I die supported us.
Yeah. Yeah, to be fair, that first night in Paris, I was like stood watching them. I was like, fuck, I get to watch this every night. This is so sick.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll always remember every time I die. Hearing you all way at Brixton, that was insane.
Yeah.
Drinking Man versus Machine coffee. Trying to AeroPress in Paris when they was driving over all the bumps.
Yeah.
In fact, I'll remember that they still were building the venue in Paris.
Yeah, just drilling the stage together.
Yeah. It was good, man. It was a good tour. It feels weird talking about it now with how on its head the world is right now, but it was a good tour.
Yeah. Who should we give MVP to?
On the crew?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, don't put me on the spot like that. MVP is and always will be Enzo.
Oh, fair.
Who was you going to say?
I was going to say Elliot, just because he went above and beyond of the stage manager role and smashed it with that trailer pack every night.
Oh, God, he did. He's going to hate me. Fuck. Elliot is like MVPP. because he's indisposable. Elliot is an indisposable member of any crew. And if you listen to this podcast and you're in any crew that Elle is in with Dodie, Fever, or that you've been in with Elle in the past with whoever, you'll know exactly why we keep bigging him up, because he is MVP. MVP goes to Enzo.
For the
and
good
a special shout out to Nath for not sleeping through any load-ins this time.
He's getting there. He's learning.
Now, to be fair, it's easy enough for us to say because we're on the crew and because you obviously organise it all, and we do a lot of stuff together on it. But the crew on this tour was special. Everyone was connected. Everyone was on the same page.
Yeah.
Everyone worked hard. There was no issues. I can't remember the last time we had issues with arguments or anything like that, if ever. So shout out everyone that was on the crew.
All the crew MVPs.
Yeah. And
especially me.
Yeah, you did great, man. You really did great. Like, I take the piss out of you a lot and we banter a lot, but you did great. There was a lot of stresses on this tour. Leading up to it in particular, there was a lot of stresses, but you killed it, man. Well done.
Always, because I'm the best.
Yeah, and modest.
Yeah. And moving on.
And shout out the band to the band. The band did all right, I suppose. They played their show. No, the band killed it every night, and I guess I will say it. I'll go ahead and say it, man. They're a pleasure to work for. They're a pleasure to work for as a band.
Yeah, they're all right, I guess.
We've all, for the people listening to this podcast that don't work in music or whatever, there are arsehole bands out there, and it sucks. And we have worked for them in the past, individually as crew members, but Sleeps are a lovely band to work for. And they're not so much a band that we work for, more like our mates that we just piss about with.
Yeah.
If you ask my girlfriend, she will tell you that I don't have a job. I just piss about with my silly mates around Europe. And she's right. So...
yeah, she's not wrong.
Yeah. But yeah, this is sick. And I guess wrapping up the tour, we should say that me and James should say we will do more of these episodes. Just got to work out what.
Yeah. We'll call this season 1.
Yeah.
And then we'll maybe have another couple of weeks off.
I think we should.
And then we'll come back with season 2. Maybe we'll do what we originally said like weeks ago as well and do some different subgenre podcasts. We definitely want to do the Origins one. We've got a few people lined up to talk about how they got into the industry and how they got working for Sleeps. So we'll try and get a few of those recorded over the next few weeks.
Definitely.
And yeah, we'll carry on the Lattes Before Load-in as well. So yeah.
Yeah, we've got plans for that too. So although I guess this is the end of talking about the tour we did in January, this isn't the end of the podcast. And before we sign off, I just want to say thanks for listening. It's fucking dope. It's cool that people listen to this. It literally started out as me and James having nothing better to do during lockdown.
Yeah, it's just us chatting on Zoom. So
yeah, we still have nothing better to do because our industry isn't coming back anytime soon. But yeah, thank you. It's cool that people listen to this. It's cool that people subscribe. James will no doubt do a thing about subscribing and shit. I don't really know what's good with that. James just sends me numbers every day and it makes me feel really good that people listen to it.
I'm surprised at how many people do listen, to be honest.
Yeah, so, every time you send me a number, I'm always like, wow, my mum listened to this podcast over 1 million times today.
Yeah. I know, it's strange when you see the different places as well.
Like, yeah, which is dope. There's people all around the world listening to this. That's dope.
I'm sure we've been in like the iTunes charts in like Russia and Hungary, Austria. There's some crazy places. Chile. We were in like Colombia as well.
Fuck crazy. Yeah, Latin America. What are you saying? Let's get out there, man.
Yeah.
Maybe not right now, but when COVID's gone.
Maybe after this. But yeah, thanks everyone for listening. And I guess we'll end this season, well, semi-end this season. There'll be a Brixton episode, part 2 at some point. We'll
eventually
breeze over the fact that we've not done that one yet. But yeah, for the end of the season, I guess we'll end it with everyone saying bye.
I'm going to miss that for a couple of weeks. Peace, love, stay safe, everybody. Thank you.
Bye. Yes, that was it. Episode 9. And yeah, as Lacey said, make sure you hit that follow, like, subscribe, whatever it is, wherever you're listening. I'm sure there's a button that does something that helps us out. It all goes into that algorithm of whatever you're listening on. If you're listening on YouTube, make sure you're pressing that subscribe button and pressing that like button. Drop a comment. tell us what your favorite bit was. If you're listening on Spotify, hit that follow button. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, rate the episode, leave a comment, say how much you love us. And then the algorithm works and it shows it to more people. So it helps us out in the long term. But yeah, it's end of series 1, I guess. We'll do the Brixton part 2 episode as soon as we can. But yeah, for now, I just want to say a massive, massive shout out to all of the crew on this tour. You guys were a pleasure to work with, even if I was giving you the wrong times on the day sheet most of the time. But yeah, you're all a bunch of legends and you were all great on this tour. I love you all. I miss your faces. And hopefully once this COVID crap goes away, we can all see each other again and I'll buy you all a Starbucks. How about that? And yeah, a massive shout out to the band as well, I guess. None of this would be possible without those guys. So yeah, I think this was probably one of my favorite tours working for those guys. In the past 3 or 4 years I've been working for them. Yeah, this tour was something special. The Brixton show especially I could see how much it meant to those guys, and to be a part of it and for them to trust me to do their sound and look after them during a tour and just be their friends, I guess. Yeah, it means a lot. So love you guys, and hopefully, we get to do this again for many more years. But yeah, enough of the soppy bullshit. Yeah, subscribe, follow, share, go on the Instagram, hit that link in the bio, click that donate button, give us a tenner, because I've not got a job. So yeah, see you next week, maybe, or maybe not. Who knows? Dun, 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 dun. Bye.